All right, what's up, everybody? I am sitting down with Lara Locke. I met her at the Housing Wire AI Summit. It's been about a month since the AI Summit, Laura?
Yep, it's been about a month. Absolutely.
About a month, and it was standing room only, mostly C-suite mortgage executives. And Laura
Yeah.
really stood out. She is a local producing branch manager for cross country.
Yep.
She's a coach for the core, which has
Yep.
a high standard of what it means to be a coach.
Yep.
So to me, what I took away from that conversation is this is someone who is winning. She's actually doing more business this year than last year. She's doing over 100 loans a year, quite a bit over 100 loans a year. So to me, that's winning in this market. Uh, so Laura, let's talk about your practice. But before we do that, I want to know, like, why were you at the AI Summit, and how are you thinking about AI as a local mortgage advisor?
Yeah, I fundamentally like my business is built around one sentence. It's technology plus personal touch equals the perfect client experience. So the personal touch part is what the core taught me, get belly to belly, really build rapport, have relationships. The tech side is everything in the background. That's not talked about a lot, but there's a lot that has to happen in the background to have a perfect client experience. So when AI came out, AI is in its beginning phases still. Everybody's trying to figure out how to use it. There's a large runway of all of us in different industries trying to figure out how to use it. But I realized how many lifts it can give the business. And so I like staying ahead of it. So I went to the mortgage industry, obviously, because it's specific to us. But I'll dabble in the healthcare industry is ahead of us a little bit. So I'm looking at a conference for them to see how they're using it, or just big tech, how they're using it. There's some out in London that I'm looking at because I want to be on the front lines. We'll see some of the compliance that comes in, but I think it could be the perfect lift to every loan officer, every team out there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it's impressive that you made the investment to be at that event, both travel and
It was fun.
what were some of the takeaways you as a local producing manager helping it? By the way, what community are you in Southern California?
Riverside, California.
So
Woohoo!
what were some of your takeaways from the event that you think
Um,
are valuable to other local professionals?
Yeah, so one of them actually stood out, and I can't remember the chief technology officer of Rocket Mortgage. He was using AI, but the culture that he was creating stood out the most. And so I'm big on it as well. I have a meeting with myself every single day on what didn't work. Like, how do we fix it? So when he spoke, he talked about how he built like a very collaborative culture to where anyone, it doesn't matter who it is, could actually message in and say, "Hey, I want this to work better. Here's my idea behind it." And they can do like vibe coding. It's like you're prompting and it builds it for you to build it to try it out first. I thought that was super cool. Just building your culture around innovation and collaboration was my biggest takeaway for sure.
Got it. So that is a good one. By the way, the vibe coding, is that something that you've been doing?
Yeah, vibe coding is actually cool. Like, yes, it's an
Tell people
interesting
like who
word.
are watching that. I bet a lot of loan officers don't know what vibe
Yeah,
coding is, and
yeah.
give a little elevator pitch for what it is.
Yeah, vibe coding is when you're just talking. Let's say you're going into ChatGPT. You can talk to it. That's what's called your prompt. And you can figure out how to make something happen. Now, vibe coding is in a different application of ChatGPT or Claude or even Cursor. So you're using a different platform and you can almost touch and taste and feel. Like, for instance, I went on Gemini because I wanted to see how big of a bridge loan somebody should get relative to cost and higher interest versus how much of a down payment. And I was able to tell Claude or Gemini exactly like the math behind it, and it built a whole custom website for the client, interactive, so she can decide what type of bridge loan. And I did it in less than 30 minutes, or I'm sorry, 3 minutes. It was really quick. And so vibe coding allows you to talk to something and it helps you build code around it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
no, it's pretty mind-boggling. How do you with Mortgage Coach and the new AI platform that we rolled out within it, the chat within the total cost analysis. How do you like that so far?
Oh, I love it. Clients love it as well. So I even get the alerts in there that a client is asking a question, so it helps me with the follow-up. So I love that part because personal touch is a real thing. But it gives you the ability to talk to it, work through it, figure out which ways, and answer some of the basic questions that sometimes that you forget to teach clients because you've been doing it so long. So I'm really digging the AI upgrade. You did a good
Love
job.
Love that. And I did an interview with a top producer. He's actually the market leader in Rapid City, South Dakota, Josh Campbell. It was called AI Proof Your Mortgage Career. I
I
think it's
love.
never been more important that you do that. I put a link down below. So if you're watching this on YouTube, which you probably are, thank you, HousingLink and Scott Nicholson. There's a link. And in that link, I'll have links. And I know at some point in this conversation with Laura, I'm going to ask her to share one of her mortgage coaches. We'll put a link down below. So by the way, Laura, did you watch that interview by any chance?
No, I'm going to.
Yeah, you'll dig it. He is I didn't ask him if he was doing vibe coding, but given the things that he showed during that call, I'm pretty sure he is. So describe your perfect, you said you're very high touch, high tech, perfect experience. Describe your perfect mortgage experience for a customer.
I actually have a board game if you want me to share it.
Are you kidding? You got a board game?
I
Bring it
got a
on.
board. I got
Show
a
me
board
a board
game.
game.
I got a board game.
I think that might have come up when I talked to you at the AI summit. Well, did we talk about first home IQ? During,
No.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll mention that later, but let's check out your board game. I like it.
Yeah. So I give this to every client. It starts with the initial call. I try to do every initial call on Zoom so they can visualize everything. As soon as we're done with that initial call, I'm actually sending them a housing link specific to what the next steps are. When I'm in the pre-approval meeting, that's when we're starting to use Mortgage Coach. And Mortgage Coach, I pitch it as this is a live link. It'll save every single change, but it helps like when you go out shopping, if you need a scenario, we're here to protect your finances as you're finding that perfect house. So every single week we call our clients to say, would you like us to update your loan scenarios? And that starts in the pre-approval meeting and it continues into the in-contract meeting and it continues into the closing meeting. So the pitch to the clients is, look, we're touching you in a major way, belly to belly, four different times during it. We want no surprises. We want huge transparency, and we want to educate you along the way. And so Mortgage Coach is the actual pinnacle on how we do that.
I love this. So first of all, thank you for sharing this, folks.
Yes.
Take a screenshot of it. You now know how Laura is winning in her local market.
Yep.
I'm curious if you put any thought into this, because getting your keys, that's hey, successful, bought a home, but now I'll bet you there's value that you're giving beyond getting your keys. Are you doing any annual reviews?
Oh, yes. Oh, definitely doing annual reviews. I actually spun around the annual reviews because not everybody wants to do an annual review. And so our job is to have the highest conversion. If we close 140 deals in a year, then we should be doing 140 annual reviews the next year. Well, I was batting at maybe 50 to 60. Here in California and now across the nation, insurance has gone up. So I've changed the verbiage of the annual review to an annual insurance review. Insurance is consistently going up. I want to get on with you. Let's see how your insurance is going. Let's see how your value is tracking. Let's see how your rate is doing. And so the conversion now is a lot higher now that we've spun that slightly to let's do something tangible and trackable because insurance changes every year. So it's
Uh,
perfect.
Another idea I've heard loan officers talk about is an equity review. I want to help you optimize your equity so that you can
Yep.
optimize your net worth.
Yep.
So by the way, if you're listening to this and you've got a way that you are positioning regular checkups with consumers, uh, put it down below. I'd love to hear what
Yes.
words you're using, how you're framing that. But I do know for sure, like if you want to AI proof your practice, uh, you need to show up and be proactive with customers around how to optimize their equity and just making sure that they're helping build wealth with real estate over time and you're the go-to advisor.
Yeah, and I can tell you like a quick custom GPT that you can make, or even talking to ChatGPT is, let's say I refinanced someone 4 years ago, and instead of having to pull the whole amortization calendar and find out where they are, you can truly just take the day today, the date that you close, the term, the rate, and the original loan amount, and it'll tell you what loan amount they're paid down to. So it'll give you a really good foundation, takes like 30 seconds to do, and that way it speeds up the process of figuring how much equity they have.
Yeah, by the way, you can also do that prompt in Mortgage Coach AI. So
Oh,
both
I love that.
the consumer could say on option 3, what will be my equity on month 34? Boom. And
Super simple.
and you as the loan officer, so both the consumer can ask that question and the loan officer can answer that question. And it will be based off of the real mortgage coach. It won't be a conceptual. Um, by the way, now that you have Mortgage Coach with AI, is that changing the way you describe the Mortgage Coach total cost analysis? I know I recently interviewed Jeremy Forcier. I actually have a script of Jeremy.
Love me some J Force. He's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
he's everybody's fave.
Yeah.
No one I've interviewed more than Jeremy. I've actually got a script. I might play it, but I want to hear your script. How do you describe Mortgage Coach now that it has AI in it to the consumer?
Yeah. And so I actually start off with, it's going to be your best friend. If there's ever a moment that it's on the weekend and let's say 8 p.m. at night, and you're like, oh, should I call her? Should I not call her? You can go in here and you can start asking it questions as if it's me. It'll alert me that it's asking it questions. I'll call you right after or call you in the morning. But could be the middle of the night, especially for first time home buyers, the anxiety that you get. It bridges that gap to where it could answer all their questions, make them feel educated. So it's pretty consistent, that we call it your next best friend.
I like that. Your next
Mhm.
best friend.
Yeah.
Let me play a little 1 minute clip from my last interview with Jeremy and let you hear the script and then let me know like what you like about it and what you might do to make it your own. Here's Jeremy, guys. Let me hit that into slide mode and here's a 1 minute script for y'all.
So Dave, it was awesome meeting with you. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a total cost analysis, which is going to be a video presentation of some of the things that we talked about in strategies, et cetera. There's going to be a video of me in the corner walking you through it. And you might have questions when you're watching it. Here's what's great is that you can interact with it and you can ask questions in a chat screen within it. And it will answer your questions. So you can ask things like, hey, what's the best program on here for me if I'm going to live in the house for 10 years? You could ask it like, what's the lowest cost option? You could ask it, if I'm going to refinance in 12 months, like which option would be most cost effective to me? So you can ask it any of these questions that you want and get answers. And then I would love to go over and review that with you and make sure it's in alignment with what your long-term strategy is. So if you have any questions, type them in the chat. Feel free to forward it to me, of course, as well, but use it when things pop in your head to see what it says. And then that way you can ask me better questions to create the best clarity for yourself. That's how I would structure it.
What did you like and what might you tweak?
I wouldn't tweak anything. I think he did a phenomenal job. That's why he got his name, Mr. J Force. He's a force of nature, that guy, especially with scripting. Good Lord. No, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing after hearing you, and then I've asked these questions a lot of people, where I do think letting them know that you'll know what questions they asked. And if it doesn't answer it, the way I think it should be, or if I think I can add more value, I'll have that. I mean, I do think there's some value in that. When I did that interview with Jeremy, it hadn't been released. He was one of the alpha partners. He has since told me that, hey, sometimes I'm trying to make the prompts, whether I give them 1 prompt or 3 prompts, is relevant to their situation as possible. And if I don't, and there's some people where I just don't think they need prompts and I'm not giving them prompts. So he's like, I am tailoring it a lot more based off the situation of the consumer. And then he did say, hey, when I see the questions that they're asking and I get the transcript, he goes, I am doing some follow-up and continuing that conversation.
I think that's the best thing about it is that we get the transcript. It's the best thing. We get the alert that they're talking to it, because then it it cues us in to if they're having an objection about something, what their headspace is like, what their future thinking about. That's, I think, probably the biggest, most powerful tool as a loan officer, is knowing what your client is asking it.
I might make this a headline when we promote this on YouTube. What I'm taking from you is you're really getting good at how to talk to AI. So I actually want to ask you some questions here in a minute around what are some of your favorite prompts that you use the most often. So be ready for that. And you're also teaching borrowers how to talk to AI.
Yes.
So why don't we go both ways on that? Tell me some of your favorite prompts that you're using to be the most effective AI-proof loan officer. And then what are some of the prompts and how are some of the ways you're teaching borrowers to talk to AI?
Yeah, so let's start with prompt. Is a lot of people have a stigma around the term prompt, especially if you're not tech passionate, let's call it. They don't understand what a prompt is. So a prompt can be, first of all, something very simple, like I just uploaded my business plan and I want you to ask me questions one by one around it. So that's one of the biggest things, is when I'm trying to answer a question, I want AI to ask me questions. Telling it to ask me questions one by one is huge. The next thing is, I just did one 2 nights ago where I uploaded my job descriptions and and my metrics for some of my team members. And I said, I am an employee of a multi-billion-dollar CEO, and I'm presenting him these job descriptions. Poke holes in it, show me the gaps. What am I not thinking of? Ask me questions one by one so I can make these metrics future proof. I spoke to it for maybe 30 to 40 minutes and I dialed myself in real quick. Prompting is one thing, but actually utilizing the AI. So for ChatGPT, I have a project, Lock Your Loan, for my team that has my job descriptions of teams. I talk to it every single day. I have a meeting with it every single day where I talk about the things that didn't work yesterday, or the things like that might have been inefficient, or an agent asked me for an update. We failed. I should be proactive. Where did I miss? And I'll download in, like, here's my follow-up. Where's my gaps? So using it to constantly look at your business and how you do things um, is the most powerful thing that you can do with it.
Are you doing it to write email messages or any of your social media content? Is it helping you with any of that?
Yeah, you can create, like I created the lock tone. I took about 20 sample sets of my writing. And then from me uploading the 20 sample sets, I said, okay, now 20 more. I'm going to upload to you on the fly, and I want you to give me 2 ways to respond, and I'm going to critique you. So I started critiquing it over about 2 weeks. And then from there, I got my full writing style. I could screenshot a review, help me reply to this review. I could screenshot a lead, email, or text, help me reply to it. And it replies in my tone. But more importantly, I have the team account. So my entire team has access to it. Any client email, any copy, anything like that is done in how I would talk. So the brand tone is set cohesively for my entire team.
Love that. And I highly recommend one, just start doing everything that she just said if you're not already doing this. Also, I had Katie Shave. Uh,
Mhm.
she's got a cool Instagram. I think it's Ask Katie. I don't know. I'll put a link to it down below. But for like $100, she'll help you create a brand book that has
Super
everything you
important.
need to put it in there. And then, of course, the book I'm writing, Know Your Code. Make sure you put your documented code. Your code is your values, your beliefs. The more your AI knows about you, the better job it'll do at amplifying you. And
And I'll take it one step further. We are salespeople, so we have to look professional as well. So I had a color analysis done on me to tell me what colors I should be in. So I put that in a ChatGPT project, and then I put pictures of my wardrobe in a ChatGPT project. On Sundays, it gives me what I should wear every single day, so I don't have to think about it. It's perfectly color coordinated. It knows my calendar, so if I'm on a Zoom call versus face to face, and it knows the weather as well. So yes, it's a team lift, but that's a salesperson lift as well without
and a
having
personal
to train.
assistant, and
Yes.
a best friend.
It's, I
It
haven't
sounds
started
like,
talking to it as a therapist yet, but man, maybe I should.
no, people do. I mean, that is a thing. A couple of my favorite prompts, well, for a long time, I've been using it to create content, and then I'm always saying, make it easier to read and remember. Like that's a
Yes.
favorite little move that I make. And then
Yes.
lately, I've also been, I'm a big fan of the book, The Challenger Sale. I think it's the
Hmm.
best sales book I've ever read. When I'm
Yep.
trying to write something that is sales, I'll go and apply, I'll either say integrate or apply some of the philosophies and best practices from the book, The Challenger Sale. And then
I love that.
boom, like, you know, uh,
I
that's
love
that's
that.
been a nice little move. Um,
Yep.
what are some prompts that you're teaching borrowers? I mean, it sounds like one is you're teaching them how to ask Mortgage Coach questions to help them get clarity and confidence around their mortgage needs. What are some of your favorite prompts? And you can mention Mortgage Coach prompts, or you can mention other ones.
I'll mention a fun one. So, and then I'll go to a mortgage coach one. So one of the fun ones is when you're speaking to a client and they're really excited about the house. Like we sell debt. We're not sexy. We're not fun. We're not exciting. Realtors get to sell the dream. And so I wanted to, how do I incorporate selling the dream to them? So one of the things I do is I'll have them take a picture of one of the rooms. You could upload the picture into ChatGPT. ChatGPT has AI where it simulates. I could type in, I want to change these colors to teak. I want, I don't know, gray on the walls. And it will spit back out what the house will look like after. And so that is something fun that you could do to help sell the dream to a client of any particular house. That's a lot of fun. I think that's one of my favorite with them. Absolutely.
I love it. Well, hey, I'm going to show some AI prompts. These came from an interview I did with Wally Elderberry. I'll put a link to the interview where he shared these prompts. These are some of his Mortgage Coach prompts where he's got 10 of them. So, the beauty of these prompts is the prompts themselves get the homeowner thinking in a bigger picture way. Like guys, I'm getting ready to launch an Instagram and TikTok brand called Uncommon LO. Because if you want to AI proof yourself, and if you want to win right now in this market, you need to be an uncommon LO. Like you've got to stand
Yes.
out. And
Yes.
so make sure that, be the first one helping buyers and sellers and people that are just looking to optimize their equity and optimize their debt. Be the one that teaches them prompts that they can use, and then make sure you're giving them a Mortgage Coach total cost analysis. So, you can take screenshots of these. I've showed 3, now here's 6, and here's the total list of 10 prompts. But I do recommend every Mortgage Coach have a list of AI prompts that you are using with consumers, whether it's how they talk to Mortgage Coach with AI or it's how they use AI. Because here's the deal, consumers are using AI with or without you.
Yeah.
And do you want to be the one that's helping them? I would even recommend making that part of your conversation. What are your thoughts on that, Laura?
Oh, I think it's absolutely necessary. 1000%. I definitely think that whether you have prompts in there or you are,
Hey, Laura, hold one sec. All right, Paul, if you could make that edit right there, clean wherever it is right here. And so I know we were talking about AI and how are you teaching borrowers what to say AI. I just showed the Mortgage Coach AI. So
yeah,
why don't we come right off of that, where you remember where I showed all these things, and then I go,
yeah.
and then I'll Paul, use this cut or just start in between. You'll figure it out. But so Laura, those are all the different ways loan officers are using it. What are some of the things you're doing? How are you teaching borrowers to use AI?
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about AI, you could say, you could ask it rent versus own. You could put in there, look, I pay $3,600 in rent and my payment is $4,000 a month, especially because it captures the tax savings. It's going to hit the benefits of homeownership for you as well. So it will tell you, oh my gosh, you're paying $36,000 a year for rent. X is going to go towards principal. every single month. X is going to help with the tax write-off. And what's the average equity that I'll gain historically in this area? So it helps with the benefits of homeownership, which we have to sell on consistently.
Now, what percentage of your business are first-time home buyers, by the way?
I would say I'm probably 30% investor, 30% first-time home buyer.
Got it. Yeah. Are you familiar with the nonprofit First Home IQ?
Mm-hmm.
I did an AI prompt the other day asking, hey, if rates come down to 0.5%, how many more people will qualify to buy? And it was like I don't know, let's just say 3 million, which
Yeah.
big number.
Yeah.
And then I asked if it comes down to percent, how many? And it was like 5 million more
Yeah.
will qualify. Guess how many people qualify right now? Forget about rates coming down a half. Like
How many?
right now, 9 million. There are 9 million people that are renting that qualify
That qualify.
to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not and by the way, the reason they're not buying, the top reasons are misconceptions around what they need for a down payment, misconceptions around what their credit needs to be.
Uh-huh.
And only 18% have talked to a loan officer or a realtor.
Oh my
Literally
gosh.
80% of these people have these misconceptions and they're not talking to anybody.
What a huge opportunity. What a fail on our part as loan officers too for not seeing that data sooner. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'll put a link to the prompt. I used Perplexity in deep research mode. So I did deep research on it, and I'll put a link to the prompt. I recommend you check it out. I also recommend every loan officer should be on the emailing list of First Home IQ. So go to firsthomeIQ.com. And every loan officer who wants to do more first-time home buyers should be an ambassador. Like if you go to firsthomeIQ.com/Dave Savage, my name, you will actually, see my picture. You'll see links to free resources and you'll see a quiz. And every person who fills out that quiz is building my database. So it's like a lead magnet. And you guys, if you want to be a First Home IQ ambassador, go check it out and, sign up to be an ambassador.
Right on. That's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You can also go to First Home IQ Instagram and interact with the message, ask any questions, and it will help you out. So check that out. All right. So let's close things up with sharing a strategy. Like how do you use Mortgage Coach, show a Mortgage Coach TCA, and let's see how you deliver price with advice to consumers.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen. So again, it's all about being transparent. And that's what I love most about Mortgage Coach is on the fly, live, we can keep it as transparent as possible. I think HousingLink is a perfect parallel to hold Mortgage Coach and showcase more of the brand in here. And so when I'm speaking on Mortgage Coach, I already have it highlighted. I'm going through, okay, should we do a buy down? Should we not do a buy down? Should we do more down? Should we not do more down? So I'm helping clients figure out, and this particular client wanted to do a permanent buy down. So we start with temporary versus permanent. Then we go from there. How much should we put down? How much should we not put down? And it gives them a realistic idea. My favorite thing about my brand that Mortgage Coach supports is we do things with no surprises. Oh my gosh, here's your payment, $46.32, but you could click here on this more information button, no surprises. You'll get a really great idea with property taxes and everything where your payment is at. Oh my God, no surprises, cash to close. It's not just your down payment, it's your first payment, it's your closing. It is everything built into there. So when you get into contract, you know for a fact where you stand. And so I'll use it, different comparisons, like I said, temporary versus permanent. I'll use different price point ranges, 800, 850. I'll use it like, here's what it looks like if interest rates drop by a percentage point when we refinance. So I use it in every which way. And I build it when I do my discovery call. I build it out to where the Mortgage Coach is tailored to what I'm hearing on that first discovery call with the client.
I absolutely love how you're doing it. I also love how you're using HousingLink. Go back to the main HousingLink. I want to
Oh,
see
sure.
how you've set up HousingLink. By the way, guys, I'm a big advocate. A lot of mortgage coaches use it. You go to housing.link. It's not .com, housing.link, sign up. But I love it. So we'll go back to the top.
Yep.
So first of all, it's got, your contact information,
Yep.
your call, your email, your app. It's got a link to your board game.
Yep.
Got a link to your recap video.
Yep.
It's got
Benefits of homeownership. Yep.
so do you always put the mortgage coach kind of center stage? Is
The
that
mortgage coach is center stage. We are setting up their entire loan. I'm truly telling you, this is the entire premise of how I do my business. It's based on no surprises. And so mortgage coach is the pinnacle of that.
love that?
Mm-hmm.
So guys, Laura is AI proof. Great job, Laura. You can stop sharing your screen. Will you mind sharing that housing link or make a
Sure.
copy of another one? So if you want to see her, her perfect, what'd you call it? Perfect borrower.
Client process. Yep.
Yeah, boom. We'll have a link down below. She's using AI. She's talking to it daily.
Yes.
She's teaching consumers how to use it. Yeah, I think I would make the headline like how you are talking to AI and teaching borrowers to talk to AI with Lara Locke. So cool. Any closing thoughts you have for loan officers, managers, leaders listening to this?
Yeah, I think the biggest lift that you can do for yourself is you have to have a meeting every day with yourself for about 15 to 30 minutes. You're using AI and you're talking through, man, I wish I could be doing this, or here's my future plan. How do I get there? Any team issues, any client issues, I screwed this up. How do I future proof that? AI can help you with that. It can be the person, like the sounding board. This can be a lonely road sometimes. Sometimes you're like, I think this is what I should be doing, especially if you don't have a coach. AI helps build that bridge a little bit, and it can be put into anything that you can think of.
Yeah. Josh Campbell is talking to AI to kind of work the strategy and the scenario. And then he's putting the strategy and scenario in Mortgage Coach to deliver it to the consumer
Ooh, that's brilliant. I'm going to start doing that.
By the way, what are the AI tools that you're using?
I use a couple of them. So ChatGPT, I use a team account from it. I do use Claude. I love that. I use Gemini. Each one is good for Gemini is great with anything math based. Perplexity is great. Cursor for vibe coding is awesome. For recording, Claude. I'm sure everybody knows about Claude now.
Yeah,
In terms-
Jeremy has advocated that. Also Otter. I use
yeah,
Otter. You
Otter,
did Claude, but I have
Fireflies.
Claude.
Yeah, Fireflies, like I use Salesforce, or if you're a Jungo CRM user, Fireflies is a perfect integration into it. So it integrates your notes into it. So I think defining your tech stack, having one centerfold and defining things around it is a very smart way to do things because we as loan officers, we have so many programs that do different things. So defining the tech stack is imperative.
Yeah. The only other one I mentioned that if you're in mortgage or real estate, would highly recommend that you have Whoosy AI. Whoosy
Yes.
AI. I'll put a link to learn more information and sign up on that. But it will integrate Claude, Gemini, Chat, but it's really designed for realtors and loan officers. Also, it's an incredible educational platform. Like it'll teach you how to use AI. So it's trending big time in the real estate space. By the way, you should know about it too, Laura. I'll put a link right here in chat for you to check out.
Awesome.
I know a number of big players in mortgage and real estate that are actually investors in it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, the founder and owner, Eric Post, is, I've interviewed him multiple times. If you're watching the YouTube channel, you could in search for the YouTube channel, put in Eric Post. I think I've interviewed him 2 or 3 times. I truly believe he's one of the top visionaries around AI and where it's going in the mortgage and real estate space. So check it out. So Laura, it's great. It was great meeting you at the AI Summit, and it was awesome
You as
to
well.
know you even better here.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day now.
You too.